Welcome back. We continue our look tonight at the Métis, being translated mixed blood people of Canada's Red River Valley. Pockets of Métis were showing up all over the northwest United States in the late 1800s as the persecution of the group in Canada heated up. Some Métis tried to gain refuge in the Rocky Boy Indian Reservation, but most were turned away. Rejected from Indian communities and white communities, many small groups of Métis families simply retreated from established towns altogether. The community of Lewistown was founded by Métis people. Others gathered in Sun River Valley, and one group that we'll focus on tonight found themselves hidden away in the canyon where the South Fork of the Teton River runs west of Choteau.
If it wasn't for them old deer, rabbits and potatoes and sack of spuds, and by God, you went pretty hungry sometime, you know.
It was not an easy life for the Métis families living on the South Fork of the Teton in the early part of the 20th century. The Laurences, the Brunos, and the Grays were some of the Métis families living fairly isolated in the canyon then, except for an occasional trip to town.
My dad put up a tent, and then he built boards up alongside, front, and the back of it, and then put pine boughs down for a floor, and that's what we lived in. But it must have been pretty good place to stay, because spring of the year our cheeks would all be pink, you know, good shape, you know.
I told my dad, I said, when I get married, there's 3 things in my life I'm never going to eat, and one's going to be mutton, cornbread, and salt pork. It seemed like that's all we had.
Have you eaten it?
No, I haven't.
The families living in the canyon formed a tight-knit community, working, learning, and playing together.
If we was out on the hillside over here, me and Mac and Howard, we'd been up in the dump ground where Ray Gibbler put his stuff. Picked up a big old, we call it truck tire, and we rolled it home. We took it up on top of the hill over here. I was small enough for the bunch, so I got crawled inside of that tire. They pushed me off the hill. Boy, you never saw the world go around so fast in your life as you do inside of a tire. The only thing, it was a good thing it did, it finally hit a tree and tipped over and jarred me out of the tire.
We done square dancing and what they called round dancing, I guess. Lauren Bruno was kind of the overseer. And he told me when I was a little kid, he said, you're not going to learn to play violin and guitar, and you're going to be the caller. He said, so don't get in your head to take the violin. And I got a violin for my birthday when I was 5. And I still got it under the bed at home.
Did you ever learn to play it, or did you
Nope.
decide you were the caller?
No, I was the caller.
One of the young Bruno boys, Mac, generated some excitement himself at the age of 9 with a unique find in front of his family's cabin.
Well, I was just walking out across the field, and there was a teepee ring there. There's probably about 3 teepee rings there, and this coin was in the middle of it. There was a bit of it sticking on the ground, and I dug it out and took it over to my folks, and from there it went on. They cleaned it up at home best they could with a little soda water and whatnot.
As the years have passed, it's become more difficult to see where the teepee rings were, but we've marked for you where 3 of them were placed. And as I walk into the center of these 3, you can also tell that a fire circle was made. The coin Mac unearthed was determined by the Smithsonian Institute to be a Roman coin dating back to 64 AD.
As far as I know on it and how it got where it was at, I have no idea.
Mac Bruno still has the coin. He doesn't have any immediate plans for it, but he says he's open to suggestions. It's been 60 years since that rare find, and the children and families living in the canyon at that time have since moved into larger surrounding communities. But they still remember fondly their years in the small canyon cabins, despite the difficulties. This cabin, like the Métis culture, hasn't changed much since it was built, but there have been a few things that bring it into the modern era, like electricity and a phone line. The Métis people have also assimilated into modern culture while still maintaining characteristics that demonstrate their uniqueness as a people. A recent reunion of descendants of families from the South Fork of the Teton showed the united Métis spirit. They are people searching for roots and identity with a culture that has had to fight to survive. From the early days in the Red River Valley in Canada to the present day, the Métis have had to struggle for everything they have against the opposition of prejudice and injustice. But a newfound sense of pride seems to be stirring within the Métis people as they realize they have survived. And for the Métis of Montana, they say the next step in securing the future of their people is federal recognition. We'll be right back. Stay with us.